This week, the task is to make a cheesecake and also a fruit coulis. So the first thing that I'm going to do is smash up my biscuits. Now you can do this by putting the biscuits into a bag and then smacking a rolling pin over the top of the bag. It stops crumbs flying everywhere. Or you can do it in a bowl like I'm with mine. But like I say, be careful that the crumbs don't fly out everywhere. Now you want to get quite even crumb. Okay, it doesn't, it's not so good if you've got great big lumps of biscuit like that in it. So we want it to be all nice crumbs, see, like that. Okay, so if you think it's done, give the bowl a shake. Any larger crumbs will rise to the top like so. So I'm just going to smash them down. And now I've got over here some butter, which I've already melted. So to the butter, I'm going to add in the biscuits and then just mix them around, getting them nicely coated with the butter or margarine, okay? And then it's going to hold its shape in the mould. Now for making, for putting the cheesecake in a mould, you could use a tin. I'm going to use a individual savoury cutter like this, and then after it's chilled, I'm going to get the blowtorch on it to show you how to release it. So I'm going to put my cutter onto a plate so that the cheesecake base obviously doesn't just drop all over the floor. Okay, so spoon that into the mould, cutter, whatever you fancy calling it. Now we want it to be probably about a centimetre deep. Now whatever container you're using. So as I say, you could be using something like this, or you could have a tin like this one here. This is just a smaller little cake dish, or again, cake tin like that. So you could use something like that, all right? So now I've got my biscuit pressed into my tin. So now I'm going to go and put this into the fridge, and then we're going to make the topping. Right, so we're now making the cheesecake topping. So I've got some cream in here. I'm mixing it up. Now, key thing to remember is as soon as it starts to thicken, okay, then go really, really slowly, because otherwise if you carry on, it will curdle, it can split, and you end up with liquid and, well, lumps of curd and whey, okay? Right, so that's my cream whipped there. So to that, I'm going to add in the cream cheese and icing sugar. So here I've got 25 grams of icing sugar, and now I'm going to mix all of that together. Now, the cheesecake that I've chosen to make today is vanilla. So to that, I'm going to add a capful of vanilla and a little bit more. And I'm just going to mix that up. Now, you can make any kind of cheesecake you want. You can make a lemon cheesecake using lemon zest, or orange using orange zest, or any other flavourings. Okay. Right, so easy as that. That is the cheesecake filling done. Now I'm just going to leave the base in the fridge for a little bit longer, just to chill for a little bit more and harden. And so I'll show you what I have been doing before. So here is some softened fruit. I've got berries, it's like a fruits of the forest berry mix. Now I'm just going to, with the back of my spoon over a bowl, press through the sieve. So the sieve will retain the seeds, because we don't really want the seeds in the coulis. Now you could use any fruit at all. You could use strawberries, raspberries, gooseberries, blackberries, entirely up to you. The whole thing is really getting the fruit onto the hob with a couple of tablespoons of water, perhaps a little bit of sugar if you want it sweetened, and then just let the fruit soften and break down, and then using your sieve remove the seeds same way as I am. Now there's some seeds left in there that I'm not going to go through the sieve. I've got some juice in my bowl that I'm just going to scrape off the excess on the back of the sieve there. That is my fruit coulis. Okay, so I'm going to use that to decorate my cheesecake when it is out of the fridge. I've taken the base out of the fridge now from its chilling, so we can put the top on. So, spoon our topping here into the mould, and then just spread it about. Let's push it down because I can see some holes in there. Right. Now I've got a palette knife and a cup of water. You could just use a normal knife. Now that's just to show you. So using the wet knife over the top of the cheesecake, you can see it's gone all smooth, okay? It's near sticking to the knife either. So, okay, so nice even coated finish there. All spread out, and now that's ready to go into the fridge to chill for a little bit longer before we garnish. We're now ready to plate our cheesecake. So this is something I've been having a little play with. So this is with my fruit coulis, using a teaspoon to put the juice down, the puree down, and then literally flick your wrist, and so it looks a bit like a golf club, I guess. And then I have also got a little plastic syringe here, so I've been piping some coulis down the side there. Just different ways of presenting your dish. If you obviously don't have the syringe, or aren't getting on with a teaspoon, by all means you could use a pastry brush, and with the juice, pastry brush, and then just paint down the side of your plate. Okay, now as you can see, it's running, so, oh dear, there we go. So it thins out at the end, okay, just a different look for your plate. Right, so here is the bit where we get to use the blowtorch. Now, I'm going to, now as I say, if you don't have one of these at home, perfectly fine. You don't need to rush out and go and get one. You can literally use a warm cloth around the outside of your tin to lift the cheesecake out. Now that's if you've got a bottomless tin. If you are using one of the tins that I showed you earlier, a cake tin, then clearly you're not going to be lifting it out because it will be in the base of the tin. Right, so let's get this started. So, okay, so there's my blowtorch lit, so we can see. Now just around the edge of the mould, up and down, up and down. Okay, I don't want it to melt, just want it to loosen off. So I think that, yep, that's definitely off. Okay, so now I'm going to go with this plate here and just put the cheesecake there, like that. Okay, so we've got the cheesecake in the corner, and then obviously the decorated plate down there. Now if you wanted to, you could put some of the coulis on top like that. Okay, I'm going to go with 3 dots. Key thing is presentation, so you've got a single in odd numbers, so 1, 3, 5. So I've got obviously 1 cheesecake, but I've got 3 decorations there. Now I'm just going to show you quickly on this plate here how to do those sort of like golf clubby looking things. before we finish. So I've got a little bit of the juice on my hand, like that, and then literally round like that. Okay, so a little bit of juice there, and then round like that. A little bit of juice, and round like that. Okay, simple as that. Right. Remember, plating, portioning, presentation, and I look forward to seeing your pictures.